Hey everybody, Tony Zayas, joined by Andy Halko, here to dive into Buyer-Twin a little bit further. Want to show some features in here that we might not have touched on just yet. I think there's a ton of value in here, Andy. I know we wanted to look at kind of how you can use Buyer-Twin, similar to like a tool like SEMrush or something like that, to get some of those, understand your key phrases and things like that. Really quick and actionable to do so.
Yeah, I think, I'm opening up Buyer Twin now, but I mean, our goal with Buyer Twin as an overall product is really about being buyer and customer centric and being able to look at everything from their perspective so
Right.
that we are building our messaging, our strategy, everything that we're doing around the buyer. And so, one of the areas that we think about is search optimization. And it's one that's not always touched on a lot. But when we go and use tools like SEMrush or other SEO tools, a lot of times we're just researching phrases based off of data. How many times is it searched? We're looking at, all these other things. But one of the things that I've noticed, especially for people that aren't in the industry and haven't done this for years, is that they don't think about it from their customer's perspective. Like, what is it that this person is actually searching?
Right.
Or even if they do it in a broad way. Oh, what would a manufacturing company search to find my business? But the reality is, every role is different. If you are talking to a CIO versus a digital marketing manager within a certain industry, they are going to search slightly different. And so it's really important that we are looking at these types of things really through that buyer lens of how do they really search or do anything that they do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think keyword research is hard because once you dive in there, you kind of lose that perspective. You're just looking at numbers. Brain kind of shifts gears, at least in my experience. But this allows us to like really focus on that perspective of the buyer.
Yeah, and so what really Buyer Twin is doing is that it's leveraging our behind the scenes information. So there are two sides to the coin here. One, Buyer Twin knows about your business. So when you set up the account, it's scraping your website and your LinkedIn, and it's understanding what you do. So if we're in here and we're a marketing firm, it understands that we sell web design, we sell marketing, etc. And then what it does is when you go to a specific buyer, it understands their industry, their job title. We've trained it so that it has an idea of their key pains and motivators and buying factors. And now it's bridging those two things. It's saying, okay, this role, if they're looking for a company like this that provides these services, what is it that in their head they would search to
Mm.
find them? And so we then use that kind of mindset, like really trying to get in the mind of the buyer and behind the scenes, that role playing engine that we've got in the system to look for what are short buying phrases, long buying phrases, short informational phrases, and long informational phrases that this particular buyer with a title in a specific segment would be searching. And so we can see here short buying phrases, digital marketing services, but long buying phrase, best marketing agency for financial services, because this is a digital marketing manager in a banking enterprise. And so they're, local SEO expert for banks, top content marketing agencies near me. You can see that it's really kind of getting specific. Their innovative digital campaigns for fintech companies. And so it's really trying to understand what would this person specifically be searching.
So I would ask, what is this based off of? Like, what is the information Buyer Twin is pinging to find these phrases?
Yeah, it's a mix, right? So it's using AI to really look into the buyer. And then we have APIs into different search rankings. And so we go out and we're doing a mix of things where we're looking at both phrases as well as search data, such as volume, etc. And we're really focusing on a mix, right? Because what we don't want to do is, I think, like when you look at something like SEMrush, you may say, oh, well, this only has 300 searches a month. And so, or this one doesn't even show up. A lot of times with those other platforms, if they don't have volume of search, they don't even show up in suggested lists.
Right.
But we know just based off of factors that that's not how things always work. People are moving towards a model where they're searching longer phrases like comprehensive branding services for financial institutions. It's not going to have a ton of searches, but for the person that searches this, when they actually click on a link, they're going to be a high intent buyer because it matches who they are, what they're looking for. And so one of the things that we shift the paradigm is not just focusing on the numbers, but again, focusing on the mindset. And so those are two different strategies, is that you can go into something like a SEMrush or other, and you can develop key phrases where you're really looking at, oh, it has 300 searches a month and this cost per click. And whatever it comes because we put in a seed base word and this is an alternative of it. It's a very harsh kind of data driven approach. Buyer Twin's much more about what is this person thinking and looking for, and if they do search it, even if it only has 10 searches a month, if they do search it, it's really high intent and it's very specific and focused. And so I think that Buyer Twin, is really just an augmentation of any SEO tool to really do this from the perspective of your target customer.
Right. And I was going to mention that this isn't necessarily a replacement for any tool, but it provides information that will definitely enhance it and make it a lot easier to continue and do deep dive on these phrases and learn more. But
Yeah, there's
really,
great SEO tools out there that go really in depth, but like with most of the things that we talk about with Buyer Twin, is you start here, whether you're developing messaging that's focused on a specific target audience, the key phrases, all of the things in Buyer Twin to me are kind of the, foundational litmus test of, does this match our target audience and does it match what they want and their challenges and their pains, their motivations. Then we can take what we have here and put it into an SEO tool that I know can do more with search. We can put it into a CRM or an automation system. I mean, Buyer Twin is meant to be your customer viewpoint and customer lens before you go and implement in other systems.
yeah, that's powerful. If anyone is interested in playing around with it, because there's actually a lot in there and a lot Buyer Twin can do, we have a 14-day trial, so check it out. Buyertwin.com. It's $14 for 14 days, full access to be able to run all this kind of stuff and really see what it could do. And we will be back again with more tips and showing you guys features and things that this platform can do. Take care, everybody.